It is 5:30, so we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum here. We are missing a couple, but I think some may just show up in a few minutes. So if we could now get up and please pledge the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. All right, we have recognition of someone tonight, and Kevin, are you going to introduce? Sure. Can we go ahead and do that, please?
Marissa has been our yoga instructor for 4 or 5 years now. She's been doing a great job for us. Our class has grown exponentially, as if we don't have room anymore or running out of room now that we've gotten back to normal. But when we were running things a couple years ago outside, we were outside on the Miracle League field. We would have 25, 30 people show up out there on the field, and everybody was spread out nice, and now we're back inside, and it's a little more cramped, but I mean, there's so many people coming in, and you could see all the people that have shown up today that are regulars, and some that are just, you know, everybody comes in and they have a great time. But what Marissa's done for the class, and also teaching us about other things with Indian culture, Diwali, like Diwali's big in my neighborhood too, and shooting fireworks off, which we're not doing at our center, we're doing it at the park, but I think if the class was at night, we might do that. So. But she's been great, and we're happy to have her, and we hope we continue to have her out there. So thank you, Marissa. Oh, Marissa, can you come up? Thank you, thank you. Oh.
Can I have my students come up for a picture?
Well,
Yeah.
yes.
Make her say something first.
You got 10 minutes.
10 minutes? It normally takes an hour. I'll make you do down dog all over you.
You got 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes.
Yes. This is Donna, and Donna is a fabulous person who conducts business at the Village Park and Corso and all the other stuff. So go ahead. I also work for her.
Come on up.
I contacted Dixie at the park.
Can you tell us who you are?
Yes, I'm Donna Budakian, and I am the community engagement specialist for Gallery Living, which is a parent management company for Corso in Buckhead and also for Village Park Properties. And both Village Parks are in Alpharetta and also in Peachtree Corners. And I contacted the city of Alpharetta to see, I needed an instructor. And she has now gone from working us at Milton to Peachtree Corners and also to Buckhead, because she's a very valuable part of our team, as well as our community. And everybody loves her, and I know that she does things for the heart, so thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Would you like to take pictures with?
Yeah, I would like to take pictures with my students,
With
but
your
am I
students?
allowed to say
Yes.
something?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I didn't prepare a speech because this was all new to me. It's not a Nobel, it's not an Emmy, but it's the city, and it's worth it. It's all a state of mind. So I'm very grateful. Actually, I'm here teaching at City of Alpharetta because of my mom. My mom used to go to the center. That's my mom. She's 91. Wow. She looks 45, but she kept saying that the person before me was sick and he couldn't teach anymore, and I had a talent, and I'm certified. I was trained by the first person who brought yoga to America in 1919. So this is boot polish, okay? This is the guy. But no, honestly, his name is Yogendran Maksamani. He came after Swami Vivekananda. All that is history. But anyway, so my mom knew I had a talent. She's India's first female Olympian. And she was like, no, you need to do something for the community. You need to teach. You need to do something. So as Donna said, yes, I do teach from the heart. And whether the student is somebody who's disabled or somebody who's very able, as many of my students are, it's the same passion and the same love for the students. So I'm grateful for the opportunity. I have a fun job. I wake up and I'm excited to see this wonderful community. And they're not just my students, they're my friends, they're my family, and they're a community. And we do stuff after hours. We go to your parks, it's at Avalon or it's somewhere. We have potluck lunches, we go to Indian restaurants, and we also celebrate Indian Independence Day. So thank you. You've given us a wonderful platform to teach, and they give me the opportunity to teach it the Indian way. People ask me what style, and I say, I teach yoga, the way I was taught back home. All these bifurcations are all made by people. But so thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you for living in our community.
Do a picture with all of you. Come on.
Yeah.
Your time to shine. I
Should
know
one
you
of us
have
go
a
take it?
photo shoot.
I'm not a great photographer,
You're going
but
up there, aren't you?
No, I was gonna let them do it.
yeah.
We need to go down.
Everybody, I thought it was just him.
Yeah, let's go.
Morgan, weren't you part of this exactly? Okay.
Done sideways. Okay.
Are we gonna get the commissioner too?
No, I'm not sure. I'll squeeze in somewhere.
Thank you.
Marissa, thank you.
Thank you. My oldest student is 95 and she's in the room.
I mean, that's phenomenal. And you were an Olympian?
Huh?
What was your event?
100, 200 meters.
The
I also played World Cup field hockey
Wow. That's
in Australia
impressive.
and UK.
Okay, that's phenomenal. Well, it's nice to meet you. I'm sure he'll be delighted to meet you.
I thought this turnout was for us. I thought this turnout was for us.
You're gonna laugh at me. I don't want Brad to get upset.
We needed boxes for these short people.
What's the name of the
Recreation and Parks Commission?
recognition?
Yeah.
Yes, thank everyone for showing up,
Yes,
but
thank
you are,
you.
thank you again.
Yeah. Submit your plans.
What a great group. Yeah. 91.
Submit your drawings.
First Olympian for her country. Yeah, that's impressive. Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Did everybody have a chance to look over the minutes from last meeting?
Did.
Do you have any questions, concerns?
Just a small edit, just so Brad doesn't feel, Commissioner Brad doesn't feel so bad. I think in the minutes, in his section for his introduction, he was unofficially doing this, unofficially doing something. Does that look right? In the introduction section, after we introduced him, and he gave a family, like his background, and we mentioned him in the notes. I'm sure you'll see it, but.
Oh, has unofficially been on the recreation committee that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
unofficial.
But
But
it
it
was
unofficial
technically unofficial until,
Until he got sworn in.
Right, and then it goes unofficially, unofficially.
So it's just 2 words.
oh, okay.
That's all. I was just stalling until Charlotte got here. That was it.
One second, get there, I apologize.
two unofficialies, I think.
In like the bottom paragraph of that section.
Okay, so we just need to remove one of the unofficial lees. Okay, then I guess we need to, when we vote to approve, we need to vote to approve with the amendment that one of the unofficial lees is removed.
So moved.
With no other comments, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes with the edit of removing the word unofficially once.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you, everybody. All approved. Okay, we're going to go right into our reports and community services.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to back up for just 1 second. Looking at the minutes, I just want to make sure that those that voted are the ones that were actually in attendance at that meeting. If you're not in attendance, you must abstain from the vote, because unfortunately you were not there to be able to confirm. So when we do the vote, did those who were not at the meeting abstain from voting?
Was everybody here at the last
I was
meeting?
here at the last.
I was here at the last meeting.
Everybody was here at the last
I
meeting?
was, yes.
Okay, just wanted to confirm.
I know he was.
That's my first. It's on camera.
Plus you're unofficially there.
Well, you could have your attendance in the minutes, right?
Hello, Amanda, how are you?
Dennis, I'm great. How are you?
Great.
Good to see you. So an update from the Community Services Division on the events front. Scarecrows are coming back, so those will begin to be installed the last week of September. And when I drafted this update for you all, we had 93 applicants received. Today we have over 110.
Yes.
So that's coming along really nicely. I do not know how many are businesses or schools, updated from the number here in the report, but I would imagine that the ratio is still pretty,
Do you have a general idea of what we normally do?
about 115.
115? Okay, so we're close to capping out.
We're good. We actually extended the deadline by a week.
Okay.
Because we were not to where we wanted to be, and now we've exceeded. Our goal was 100, and we were at 93.
Perfect.
So now
Can
we're,
I just confirm, it's just pre-K through fifth grade when it comes to the schools, is that correct?
no, it can be any school.
No, any school, but I'm saying grade levels, because it said pre-K through fifth. So I didn't extend it to the rest of our school.
Oh, I did not know that there was a grade level cap on that.
That's what I was asking, because I was going
Yeah.
to send it out to everybody if there's still time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is, and it can go all the way.
Okay, through
to
12?
all the grades.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Any other questions on scarecrows?
No.
And I did attend the last business meeting of downtown business owners, and I let them know that this year, if we had any that were just yard signs in straw bales, that those would be removed. So we are going to be strict based on y'all's feedback from last year. If it's not a scarecrow or some type of creation, it's not going to stick around. For Wire and Wood, we were ahead of schedule this year. Our talent is all booked for everything, not just our 6 stages, but also all of our music match performances. So as usual, it's the second weekend in October. And this year, we're going to have preview night on Thursday, October 6th at Avalon. So it'll be a different artist than will be performing during Wire and Wood, but it's similar genre of music as is typical for Wire and Wood, and so we're excited to be extending out over to Avalon. Season of Celebration, the plans for that are coming along nicely, the first 3 Fridays in December, and very much similar to last year. The first Friday will be the tree lighting, the second Friday will be photos with Santa, and then the third Friday, last year's Movie on the Green was really successful. We did Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman last year. We'll probably do that in maybe a third in rotation this year, but that was really popular with families, so that's our plan. And the farmers market this year runs through the end of November, so we will still have plenty more farmers market Saturdays coming up. On the community agriculture front, the community agriculture plan has been drafted by the Atlanta Regional Commission and Foodwell Alliance, and they're updating it based on the steering committee's feedback right now, and they should have a draft for us tonight or tomorrow. And then we will be bringing it in front of Mayor and Council this fall for approval and adoption. Fall plant pickup was on the 3rd of September. It's a great great success. We passed out lots of over 100 members for all of their fall and winter plants. I think I've already told you all this, but our Cambridge High School students are back, and they're there, and they're with us 5 mornings a week. So that's going really well. We have a really strong group this year. They're really engaged and really interested in the work. We've put together a really nice curriculum. We have a textbook for them this year, so we feel like we've kind of grown up in gotten real about it. But it's coming along really, really nicely. We've got a lot more structure in the program this year. Do y'all have any questions for me?
How many students are in the program?
This year there are 6.
Okay.
And that's been what we've had, 5, 6, 7. Middle of the summer, we were told we were going to have 14, and we were really excited about that. And then with scheduling, it kind of dwindled. And so we all see how that happens with our kids. The first week of school, there's a lot of scheduling changes with their schedule. So it's okay. We were really excited to have double the number, but it's a great group, and so we're just going to focus on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any luck on finding a new hire for those, volunteer lady?
For the volunteer and education coordinator. So we did our last interview today,
Okay.
and I think that we've settled on someone, but I haven't notified them yet.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Amanda Morgan and I attended Alpharetta. Alpharetta High School is working with y'all as well now, as well as Cambridge out there. So you have 2 high schools pulling double duty, so to speak.
Well, actually, we have 4 high schools now partnering with us, but I can tell you about that if you want.
Yes, please.
So we have Cambridge High School doing the ag business class. Cambridge High School is now going to be processing all of the canned, pickled, processed food products from harvests that we grow at the farm. So all the jellies, jams, pickled
Alpharetta.
products.
You said Cambridge, but you meant Alpharetta.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Alpharetta High School, they have a culinary program, which is really, really amazing. So they're going to be making our salsa verde, our pickled jalapenos, our blackberry jam, our hot pepper jelly, all of those things that for the last 3 years, Emily and I have been making at home. And so we're really happy to turn this into an educational opportunity for these young culinary students. And then we also have a partnership with Milton High School, which is brand new, with their CBI students, their community-based engagement, or CBI, community.
Is it special needs population?
Yes, it's their special needs population, thank you. And so they will be putting the labels on all of the jars. So it'll go from the farm over to Alpharetta High School, then the jars will go over to Milton High School to be labeled. And then our 4th high school is Innovation Academy. And we are installing at Old Rucker Farm an RFID bee tracking system that will be tracking some of our honeybees to see where they go to forage. And the students will be collecting that data and seeing not only how long the bees forage, they'll be testing the DNA material of what they bring back on their little pollen pouches, and finding what plant materials they prefer to forage from, which as we do that around the year, it helps us know if they pass over clover and chamomile and okra, choose another plant species that's further away, then that tells us that maybe that's what we need to grow more of in our landscapes. So it'll be a really neat experiment with the students.
That is great. Cute. That's fantastic.
So yeah, it's neat. It's kind of a little food system. You know, we have production, then we have packaging, then we have labeling, transportation. It takes everybody.
Are you applying the RFIDs to the bees? And how does like, where's all the sensors? I was curious.
It's so fun.
Too.
I know, I was too. And we actually, we sedate them. And so you sedate bees, we'll catch them in jars. We'll have kind of like a bee, what are those little vacuums called? The dust busters. Like a honeybee dust buster that will gently suck the bees as they're exiting the hive, and it'll collect them in a little jar. We'll take that jar and we'll put it in the refrigerator. and cool them down. And just like reptiles, if you've ever worked with reptiles, they'll kind of fall asleep, but they won't die. Then we'll take them out of the jar and we'll attach these tiny little tracking devices on their thorax, which is the middle part of their back. And then we'll put them back in the jar and we'll put them back in front of the entrance to the hive, and they'll revive and they'll go back about their business.
This is amazing.
That's unbelievable.
True abduction.
It is, really.
But how
I think
far,
with the aliens.
how far do bees go one way, and how far do you have the RFID sensors to track? Well, because it may go past the range of their sensor stations.
So it will just sense them as they go in and out of the little door, which is about a 3-inch opening
But
in the
not in
hive.
the field. And how will you
No.
know?
So they do, they'll go as far as 2.5 miles. You'll read around that bees will travel 5 miles to forage for food, and that's 2.5 miles away, 2.5 miles back. But we don't really know how far, and how the students will analyze that is based on the time away from the hive. So bee number 52 will exit the hive, and then we'll know that bee number 52 was away for 47 minutes. And then bee number 52 will enter the hive, and we'll know how long they stay back in before they exit again. Because their behavior is that they go in, they deposit what they got, and they go back out. They do that until they die. And so we'll be able to track, based on the average speed of a honeybee's flight, how far they go in the 42 minutes that they were.
Where's this hive? Is it at your farm?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have 4 hives at Old Rucker.
Okay.
And we are also doing a community-based funded grant right now through our social media to raise money for the school to have one on their property. We've raised over $1,000 already. So it's over a third of the system is bought, and the school has already placed the order. So
That's great.
we'll have 2, and we'll be able to compare.
Thank you.
Oh, that's
This is
exciting.
great.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
That's impressive.
Cultural Services.
Good evening. I am myself and Kim tonight. So Kim has a PowerPoint here that I'm sure Amber will pull up for me. How's everybody?
Good.
It's a beautiful day today. Cool this morning.
it's awesome.
Oh my goodness, I think fall's here. Okay, this is the Alpharetta Arts and Cultural Report, and I'm just going to go through the slides and talk about the information that Kim gave me. You do have all that information in front of you. A lot of the information can be found on the Arts and Cultural online calendar, as well as the online Music City live music calendar. So those links will take you to a lot of this information. They have the Medley Outdoor Exhibit that was put out in the parks. This one is at Wills Park, and it's called The Ribbon Arch. It's by Jim Gallucci, and it is above the quad there, and it is absolutely stunning. It's just beautiful. Another one was in Brook Street Park, and it's called Hill Climb by Jim Collins, and that one's a really interesting one with bikers going up a very steep grade there. Another one is called Tree by Gus and Linda I had this earlier. Ocampo Silva. And that was in Thompson Street Park. Very colorful, very pretty. And another one's called Liquid Sunshine, which is a really cool one too. See the face on there? Mm-hmm. And that one is in Brook Street Park by Michael Alfano. So this is and Nancy's in there. You're in a couple of these. Yes, you are. Beautiful sculptures, a great addition to our parks, and I know people will enjoy walking around and seeing those.
That's so cool.
There's another one, and this one's in Brook Street Park as well. It's called Allura by Nathan Pierce. That one's very colorful. Looks like a big C or G, depending on how you look at it. Okay, another exhibition that's going on over at the Arts Center is The Colors of India, and it is on August 6th. It started on August 6th, I'm sorry. And it goes through September 23rd, and it's presented by IACA, which is the India American Cultural Association. They had 260 people in attendance on August 6th for their opening reception. And their closing reception is Diwali Kickoff, and that's on September 17th from 4:30 to 8:30. Very colorful.
That's first, right? I haven't heard of you guys doing a closing reception before.
Pardon me?
I don't remember you guys ever doing a closing reception before.
I don't believe they've done that. Nancy, would you know?
The Indian American Cultural Association is sponsoring the second event. They typically don't have closing events, but
Thank you.
RGB, which is Writers Give Back. This is another exhibit that goes August 8th through September 23rd. And this is a group that creates works of art, and they sell them to, they exhibit them, and then they sell them, and they raise money for kids in need. So that is also going on. John Williams. Who doesn't love John Williams, right? Donna. That's it. Did he do that one? Yes, he did. Yes. 2 notes. You have a villain. He's turning 90, believe it or not, and they have a great exhibit at the First United Methodist Church, and it will be Friday, September 16th at 8 p.m. That would be a really fun one to go to.
This Friday.
That is. It's this Friday. Oh, hard to believe we're halfway through September already.
I know it.
Arttober is going on during one month of October. And it's a celebration, as it says, of Natural Arts and Humanities Month, and that will be happening all month long, and there's all sorts of free happenings at the Art Center. And I believe that's the last one. Is that the last one on there, Amber? Do you know? Yep. Family Day, spooky alien fun. These are free activities, not just for kids, but for adults. So you are all welcome to come to this. It's Saturday, October 1st from 10 to 2, and it's on the front lawn at the gallery and in the gallery at the Art Center. And it looks like there's all sorts of fun crafts, food truck, live music, meet the instructors. So basically an open house at the Art Center, which will be super fun. All right. And let me see if there's anything else I need to bring up here. There's a lot of other events happening that are in your notes there. And again, they're on that calendar that you can find online. Does anybody have any questions? Okay.
No questions?
All right, moving on to rec services. You have my, oh, you're getting it? Okay.
Next.
I'll go ahead and start up.
There you go.
There we go. Okay. I just wanted to highlight our swim season. It ended on September 5th for public swim. We still have seniors out there splashing around in the water as long as it's warm enough. I had the pleasure of lifeguarding yesterday. That was kind of fun. They're just so much fun. They love being in that pool. I get thanked every time I'm over there, so we're so glad you keep it open. So we try to do that as long as we can. Overall, we had a highly successful season. As you can see from here, our total number of admissions starting May 29th through September 5th for the public was 30,855.
Wow.
And that is up 23% from last year.
That is great.
And last year we were fully open and functioning, and this year, and I attribute that partly to not having swim lessons and having more open swim hours at the pool. So that kind of shows itself right there. This was an interesting number. The number of non-residents that come into public swim is 59%. We have people coming from all over. We have people coming up from Atlanta. We have people coming from Cherokee County. They come all over because it's such a great pool. It's got a slide. It's got the high dive. So we have people coming from all over. Just a little bit, just some numbers there on pool passes, how many we sold. We had 431 unique members, which was up from last year. And we had Master Swim this year, which was, you could purchase a pass and come work with a trainer, and a lot of people did that. We had 13 season passes, and some people wanted just to purchase month to month, and those were 18 of those. And then water fitness passes. We had a total of 2,599 swipes of our passes this summer, which was fantastic. So that's just a little bit about the pool.
It's amazing.
Does it normally close around the same time? It's never extended? I mean, we get some warm weather in
No,
October.
no. Once the kids go back to school, we're only on weekends, and we stop it right there because they get involved in sports,
Yeah.
and just very few people come. We still are open on Saturdays for the seniors to come swim. Actually, pretty much let anybody come in and swim if they want, as long as they're not children. Any adult can come in.
Keeping lifeguards this year?
No, not at all. No. I was very intentional in my hiring this year in that I hired a bunch of high schoolers because I knew that they would not disappear as soon as, the first week of August hit to go back to college. So that's going to be our hiring practice going forward, is trying to bring in the high schoolers every year, get them trained really well. They'll stay with us for 4 or 5 years, and then we'll just keep bringing them in. That way we have enough people by the end. My supervisor, Kat, just did a fantastic job with the staff this summer. Her first season with us, she survived. And I think she took a very long nap after that. So,
How did the swim lessons go, not having them?
I'm sorry.
How did swim lessons go?
The Y was packed. They filled every single swim lesson that they had. And the nice thing is they can keep them going year round for people who are interested.
And so people were turned away? if they were full?
No, well, I'd have to ask that question, but I know, when I asked Ryder about it, he said, we're full every single session, so I'm not sure if they had waiting lists. That's a good question to be asking them, and I'll follow up with him on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a question on that. The increase of 23%, is that kind of, do we forecast that type of increase, or how was that thought of at the beginning of the season versus what the 23% was?
Well, I would say that's a good question. I was anticipating an increase just due to the fact that we had more public swim hours available since swim lessons went away. And we don't normally have that. It's pretty consistent across the board from year to year because the hours are set. So since we had those extra hours, I knew this would happen.
Okay,
So
so
this is a reflection of that. Yes,
And
yes.
also because we were open Labor Day this year, we weren't last year, right?
That is true. We did not make it through Labor Day last year. We were a week short, which still considering was pretty good. So we were lucky to get that far last year, so. Just a quick.
Sorry, is
That's
the
okay.
non-resident percentage typical as well, or is that atypical for this year?
That's a little higher than normal. That's a little bit higher than normal, yeah. And again, I think it's just because we had more hours available.
Okay.
Can you tell me again, though, what was the deal with swim lessons this year? If you went to the Y, did you have to join the Y or pay the Y fee, or?
No, if you're an Alpharetta resident, you got the membership fee.
Okay.
Yeah, the member fee to be able to register for swim lessons.
And that was comparable to what we charged, or?
Actually, it was a little bit less for the amount of time that they were getting, which was good. Yep. We have an upcoming event. We have the North Fulton Special Needs Field Day happening this Saturday behind the Alpharetta Community Center on the lawn in the Grove. I got that right, okay. We're still getting used to this terminology back there. It's from 10 to 2, and it is a field day for the special needs community. This is a collaboration between Alpharetta, Milton, Roswell, the Ed Isaacson YMCA, and Johns Creek. And this is a team that works all year round to come up with events for special needs. And this is the second year we will be having this, and last year was highly successful, and I anticipate that to be the same thing. It's games, activities, just a really fun morning and afternoon for those who are participating. It is free, but pre-registration is required.
Is this in lieu of that other event that they were hosting? We used to host some sort of special needs expo kind of?
No, Roswell did the expo last year,
Okay.
or in March, I believe. It was in March, yes. So we're trying to move that around to each city so one city doesn't end up doing it all the time.
Right.
So they will be having that again this next year. I just don't have a date for that yet.
Okay. But this is separate?
It's separate, yes, that's correct. In athletics, we had our new coordinator start this last week, I believe. Alan Sanders joined us, and we have another coordinator starting on the 19th, as well as the person who is replacing Kim Unger at the front desk over there. So we will be fully staffed at Wills Park Rec Center in about a week and a half, which is very exciting.
Sorry, quick question.
Okay,
Were these replacements that had left?
That is correct. And all 4 fall sports are up and running, which is exciting. And Dennis and I were just talking, and I was surprised when I got the rosters for Ambush. They have almost 1,600 kids participating in that program for the fall season.
Wow. Good.
Yeah, so I'm still going through the list.
Just as a note, it was 800
It's almost doubled, yeah.
last year.
That's because they thought they were going to get a turf field up there or whatever.
I think so.
Is that in their agreement?
No, thank God.
And then active adults, activities will resume at Preston Ridge Community Center. We had stopped them over the summer, some of them, not all of them, but we're going to go back full force over there. Once the construction is done over there, we're adding a closet with some storage, and we're making a new coordinator's office. And so that will be up and running. And Kevin and I had a great time. I'm glad you're here tonight, Kevin. He's curled up in the fetal position there, but he was having fun. We had a great time rafting with the seniors on the Nantahala. Kevin is quite the rafter. He's done much harder ones than this, but this is the hardest one right there. It's the one class 3 on the whole river. In that section of the river that we went down, yeah. It's a good drop. It was fun. We had a great time. I love our guide's hair. Just flying in the breeze. But that was really fun, and they've been having a good time out at the Adult Activity Center. They had a luncheon today. and there's lots of leftover fried chicken if you'd like some, so stop by and get it. Last thing I have here is health and wellness. We have a new program that's starting this year called Kilometer Kids, and it's run by the Atlantic Track Club. And it started on the 6th, and we have 29 kids enrolled. And their whole focus, like any sports, is respect, healthy habits, goal setting, and learning all of that through running. It's very exciting. Any questions?
Do they get a free admission to the Peachtree Road Race?
Yeah, that would be, hey, that's a great incentive. I don't know. We might have to look at that for next year.
No
Good idea.
triathlon This year,
Pardon me?
Are we doing the triathlon again, the kids triathlon?
There is another one coming up. It's not the Iron Kids. It's a different one coming up, I believe, at the end of the month. But Iron Kids was here earlier. They were here in May, I think. May, yeah. So they've been coming. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, we've got Park Services. You're going to do both. Okay.
Oh, good evening. We're going to start with the Park Services, excluding Wills Park. Opening day for soccer and also the Miracle League programs opened up on September 10th. Successful. Staff, Park Services staff have been working toward those opening days. The grounds were immaculate and great, awesome weather, so forth. We have finished up the what we call the Deadwood initiative, which is basically taking out dead trees and dead limbs. Cheryl, we've completed that, and we spent all the money that was allocated. However, there are still trees dying, and we still are taking trees out as needed, and that funding is going to come from our operating account. So we were very successful in identifying what really needed to be done, and it's amazing how much tree work needs to be done in the city. And our goal is not to take trees out unless we have to. I'm proud of our staff for what we've accomplished in such a short period of time. We're still interviewing for a park technician position. I think we report that every month. We just cannot seem to close the deal. And we have a couple in the last couple of months just back out at the last minute. And so Eric's been trying his best. We had interviews last week, and hopefully we can have someone on staff in the next month.
We just don't pay enough?
So,
Well,
it's a lot of different factors going on. Pay is always an issue. Being in public service, it's not just that position. But there are other factors going on as well. I mean, a lot of other jobs are competitive and are more appealing to a younger generation. It's hard work. And that's simple. It's plain and simple. It's hard work. If you want to come work Park Services, you're going to work. Some people just aren't cut out for that. So we want the right person to be able to fit into our staff. We're also taking bids for putting the plan together for some shrub replacement and arboretum trees and other trees at City Center and Brook Street. And also looking to do some fence repair over at Cogburn Road Park along the Lowe's side. That privacy fence needs some work. So that's going to be going on. Over at Wills Park, the focus on the off-season program, if you call it an off-season program, it really be focused on Wacky World. The reality is that Wacky World is going to be replaced, but it's not going to be replaced anytime soon because we still have to go to design, and that process is going to take a while. So we're focusing on, making sure that playground is still the best playground in the state of Georgia, maybe in the country, and making sure that it stays that way until it's time to replace it. So a lot of focus is on that. We've been focusing a lot on the Mansell House area. Getting rid of some tired and, just actually dangerous gazebo that's in the back area and also on the grounds. We're focusing a lot on raising the canopy of our trees. So we're getting rid of deadwood. We're also raise the canopy because in our walking trails and our other access areas. So, and then finally, on the equestrian side, the grand opening ribbon cutting for the ring that was just built will be this Friday at 5 o'clock. We hope you can join us for that. Any words about that, Morgan? The grand opening ribbon cutting? Yeah. Yes. You're okay. All right. Over to the capital projects and bond report. We are going to go to City Council on September 26th to start replacing the wood structures over at Wedbridge Park. That playground is close to 25 years old. Wood structures, just like at Wacky World, they have a life of maybe 15 to 20 years. So we've got a lot of life out of that playground. So we're looking to begin the process.
Wedbridge Park isn't wooden, it's mostly metal, isn't it?
Web Zone?
Web Zone.
Yeah, the playground was built in '99.
I know, but it's not mostly wooden. Isn't it mostly metal?
The play structures are wood. Yeah. The play structures for the 5 to 12 and also the 2 to 5 are wood. Now, there's some swings on the back area that aren't wood, but the play structures are wood. And we spent about $74,000 in repairs and replacements over the last 2 to 3 years. It's to a point where, okay, it's time to start replacing that. We're going to have a different approach as we do with Wacky World. We're going to basically, take care of what needs to be done, and then work it around the clock to get the whole area enhanced. We've already started an enhancement program a couple of years ago with replacing the fencing around there, enhancing the entrance. So it's just a continuation of this program. It's just we're to the equipment side now. The expensive side, the real expensive side.
How long does it take for this process to go through, from design through obtaining the equipment, then getting the equipment installed? Is that a year process, 2-year process?
No, for a playground, no. They'll design it out. You'll have the conceptual. We'll order it. It could be anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks or wait for the equipment, and then the installation, depending on how much, could take anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. So we're looking to hopefully have that start in the winter months and have that completed before the warm season and things really pick back up.
Okay, perfect.
The Alpharetta Community Center gym. Yeah, we started that. That's 25 cents right there. I told Amber that every time I look at the screen, it's going to cost me 25 cents. So, and I got to figure out how to do this. She showed me how to do it.
Do we need to get a jar?
Going the wrong way. Going right. There. All right. So yeah, we started that process at the Alpharetta Community Center in the gym floor. That started in the 1st of August. And believe me, that was taken 10 days ago. They've completed that installation to the point where the bleachers are. And so that part's done. Now they're moving the bleachers over. They're going to do the work over there. They're going to install the floor, and then they're going to move the bleachers back. That process is going to be completed probably mid-October. So we should be ready to go by the end of October. It will not interfere with our youth basketball program practices at all. So we're excited about that. It's really moving along and making a lot of progress.
They find the spring? Did you find where the water came from?
I'm sorry?
Did they find the spring or wherever the water was coming from?
We didn't find anything that was would be like a major, foundation issue or whatever. So no. So we were able to go ahead and put the epoxy on, which is the water barrier, because it was dry, and we should be good to go.
Okay.
Which is that's what we were hoping for.
That's what we're hoping for.
The water came in from somewhere. There was no evidence of where it came in from, but it has dried up, and which is good. And we are working on the final.
Kurt, let me just jump in there. The installers are convinced that that water came up through the foundation. It basically came up through the concrete, throughout the foundation, because every inch of that floor was wet
So it sounds
at the
like
foundation.
It doesn't sound like an.
No, they were just saying that there's nowhere, the water just literally came up through. If it was a spring, it would be in one location, wherever the spring is. But because it was the whole floor, the water was just, the water's gonna take the easiest route. And rather than go out, seep out through the ground, it just came up through the floor. And they put the epoxy down, and now that water's gonna have to go out the other way. So that was what they expected, and that's what they found. But every time they took up the final piece of flooring, it was wet. Not like puddled wet, just wet to the touch.
And it's just that one gym, or do you think it's all the rest of the building?
We think it's just that one gym that wasn't, that had that, it didn't have the right water barrier. There was a piece of plastic, but there wasn't the right water barrier to keep it out.
We're working on a wayfinding signage on the Greenway. We're in the final stages of that approval. I know we would want to do that. The Convention and Visitors Bureau is helping us to move that project along and partner with us. So hopefully, maybe sometime toward the end of the fall that we'll start installation of that. We'll probably go into production real soon. So we're excited about that. On to the bond report. Just to give you a quick update, I've already kind of reported that the Old Rucker and Union Hill projects were approved by City Council for design. We have our first kickoff meeting tomorrow for Old Rucker. We're still working on trying to get that meeting for Union Hill Park. So those designs are off and running. Wills Park and the Wills Park Equestrian Center side, that the council still will need to approve those before those designs are launched. Waters Road Park, we're going to workshop the concept to the City Council on October 3rd. But we do have a quote from the Gordian Group, which is a group we've been working with at Wills Park as well, to build the park not to exceed $1.1 million, which is below the $1.25 million bond amount that was approved. So we're excited about that. And I think Morgan's going to mention that and then show the concept. Because I just gave you the scope of work by accident. Mid-Broadwell Park, and that's a different story.
Listening.
The saga of Mid-Broadwell Park. Bottom line is, it's just going to cost more money than was allocated in the bond. And we're working to try to figure out how we can build a great park within budget. It's going to be hard, and Morgan and Peter are working on how to approach that to be able to get that park built. I don't think we're going to be able to hit the deadline of trying to break ground in this fall. It's just because of the budget. And that doesn't mean it's not going to get built. It will get built, and it's going to be a great park for the community. But it may be delayed while we're trying to figure out. The cost have just skyrocketed. And what we want to do there is just, it just costs a lot more.
Did the sewage connection, did that cause some of the cost to go up? What caused some of the cost to go up?
Well, a lot of the cost is materials. We did have to do a good bit of stormwater design and part of in the construction, more so than you would anticipate. That's a challenging part, and you also have stream buffers, which limits what you can do with where you put the stormwater and where the stormwater retention goes. So a lot of that is driven up by the infrastructure. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we're not having any issues down the road with that park. It's going to be an awesome park when it's built. It's just, we thought it still probably will be the first one out of the gate. But it will not, we don't really think it's going to be able to, we're going to be able to break ground in fall like we would hope. So. And any questions?
No questions? Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Director, do you have any reports?
So to piggyback on what Kurt was talking about, we're going to go straight to Waters Road Park. We're not going to Waters Road Park.
Well, do you have your reports first that you want to talk about? Because you'll need new business for the Waters Road.
Okay, all right. So we'll do that in just a second. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to mention to the commission. One of them is that in front of you, I had laid a schedule for the Council and Recreation Commission schedule of the things that we have to bring to the commission and the things that have to go to council, so that you can kind of get an idea of what between now and the end of the year that we're going to be working on. The deadline for council information has been increased a little bit, which causes us to make sure that we have the opportunity to bring things to this group, and then if they need to get workshopped by council, and then of course, and then voted on by council. And you can't assume that because you're workshopping something that you can get it approved the next week. You have to, there's some time frames in there, and this schedule is, we're pretty confident that we're going to be able to meet this schedule that I've given you tonight. And we'll talk about that in relation to Waters Road here in just a minute. The other things I want to mention to you is that Fulton County let us know just recently that they're going to be doing some sewer work along the Greenway between Rock Mill and Preston Ridge. It'll be sometime in October. They think it'll be closed down for 3 to 4, but maybe 5 days, but they don't know when yet. So I'm bringing this to the commission's attention, because when we close the Greenway, we're going to get complaints. We know that. But we're going to give as much notice as we can give, because Fulton County, when Fulton County Sewer has to do their work, there's all kinds of things that are happening on there. I mean, I'm not throwing them under the bus. They're going to give us as much leeway and timing as they can, but it could very well be that we're going to close the Greenway tomorrow. So I just wanted to give y'all that heads up, so when you see it on Facebook or on Nextdoor, that, probably did do exactly what they said they were going to do. So just giving you a heads up in case that happens, because we do not like to close the Greenway for anything. But that was also the agreement that we made with Fulton County when we built in their sewer easement, that, you can close it down when you want to.
So have we put any communications out there for the public to know that it's coming?
Right. As soon as, we're getting ready to. We're trying to get all that information together as best we can, and then we're gonna do the same thing we're doing with the commission. Is, hey, it gives you a heads up. We're gonna give you as much notice as we can, but it's coming. Okay. The other couple of things I want to mention. One is the Equestrian Center new arena is groundbreaking is this Friday at 5 o'clock. We're really excited about this. The new arena, as well as the hill that overlooks that, the rock wall hill. It looks good if you haven't been out there, but I would really like to encourage the commission to come out Friday at 5 o'clock. We have food trucks, we have food, and we're also going to have a 4-pole contest, which means that they're going to have 6 horses in the arena, and they're going to keep jumping poles until somebody is declared the winner and gets the official ribbon cutting award. So there will be some activities in the arena. So come out 5 o'clock if you will. We got food trucks. We're going to have some music, and we're going to have a good time. And we're really excited about that. And we're really excited for the foundation, because this is kind of the kickoff of their big fundraising effort now that they have something to show for it. So we're really excited for the foundation.
Is there a specific place we should meet or gather? Or?
Yeah, if you right there where the new arena is, right in front of the concession stand, you'll kind of see where it's the closest to the parking lot. So it's where I'll tell you this: it's the only arena with a black, good-looking fence. Okay, so that's where you'll come. There are, one other thing that I want to mention is that we have, there's a group called the Veterans Songwriters Group, and they are a songwriter group out of Nashville, and they work with veterans, and they sit down with veterans, and they write their songs. And they're going to come to Preston Ridge on November 4th, 5th, and 6th, and do that with local veterans that fought in the wars, and write their songs, and then hopefully some of those songs will make it big sometime. But it's a small event at Preston Ridge, but it's kind of, to me, it's a very good, it's a good sign that that as far as music, we're making an impact on the music scene, because they sought us out.
What were those dates again, Morgan?
November 4th, 5th, and 6th. And more information is going to be coming out about that as we get closer. Okay. But those are the dates. So now I want to move on to Waters Road, the Waters Road park design.
Wait.
Oh,
Hang on one, yeah. Is that all your reports for now?
yes, it's all my report.
All right, we can go to the next one. We don't have any old business, so we will move on to new business, which is Waters Road.
Okay, thank you. Okay, all right, so now I can go. Okay, all right, thanks. So Waters Road Park, several months ago, I don't know exactly how long, we did some public input. Once the bond got approved, we did some public input meetings for Waters Road Park. We did some virtual, and we actually did a meeting here at City Hall as well. And we got we had a design, and we got a lot of input from that design. We took that input that we got from the sessions, and we did another design. So this is the second design based on public input. And the biggest difference between this and the one before is that the dog park, there's no dog park on this one. The dog park was taken off simply because there was folks that wanted a dog park, but there were more folks that said, no, it's too small. It's too small of an area. We don't want it to be a destination for people with dogs, so it was removed. Everything was shifted as close to Kimball Bridge as we could get it. You know, there's a steep grade coming up from Kimball Bridge to get to the park. So you'll see that basically this park is a small parking lot that's big enough for a fire truck to turn around, because we have to be able to turn a fire truck around. We have a small playground area, that's the brown area, and then trails looping through the area, as well as several a restroom that is close to the playground, which is the red roof. And then we have two smaller picnic areas that are big enough for a single picnic table underneath them, like we have at Windward. Again, so that not so that people can have big family reunions, they can have a family picnic, but we don't want this to be a site where large numbers are gathering for a picnic, because it is designed as a community park. So I hate to do this. I know I'm bringing it to y'all tonight, but I am asking, based on the schedule, for y'all to look this over, and if so inclined, we would like to bring this forward to Mayor and Council on October the 3rd as a workshop, and then there will be an opportunity for input there, and then at a later date, we would ask for approval, and then if this design is approved, then this is what we would build. So that was the end of my presentation.
In terms of the Spenston playground area, do they have any comparable park playgrounds that they're going to mirror? Because you can't really tell what it's going to be. I think you said a small, like, children's playground.
Yeah, it's going to be a small children's playground, very similar in size to what's at Cogburn Road Park, that size park. So that's the size playground that we're looking for.
There's like 2 banks of swings, isn't that what's at Cogburn?
Yeah, like two bays of swing, a small apparatus for children under 5, and then a little bit larger one between. There's just not a lot of room to do much there. It's just as a neighborhood playground, so it'd be very small.
When does the naming of the park take place? That's a mouthful right now.
I'm sorry?
The name of the park?
Well, Well, that's one of the things that we'll have to decide, is that we have always, one of our rules is that we will name the park based on the road that it is next to. But people have been calling it Waters Road Park forever, but I think moving forward, we really need to call it Kimball Bridge, because that's what it's coming off. But if we change the name right now, that's going to confuse people, because most of the time we've been calling it Waters Road Park. But we'll do that formally at another meeting as far as naming it. But when it comes forward, it's going to be recommended that it's called Kimball Bridge Park, because it's on Kimball Bridge.
Okay.
What are the chances that this bathroom's gonna give us as much trouble as Mid-Broadwell?
No, not. We know that the sewer from the other house is where it's at. We just didn't know anything. The other ones were old enough and we didn't have the correct drawing, so we're not worried about the location of the sewer on this one. Plus, we have the fall. I mean, from where that's at to where we need to get to, we know it's downhill.
And, okay, I'm just trying to think if
Yep.
we're having all that
Oh, I
trouble with
understand.
Broadwell, we just don't need to do it again.
Right? Believe me, we understand.
And minimal tree removal and land disturbance, I
Minimum
think it's
tree
said.
removal.
Okay.
And really, the area that, the area where the parking lot is was where the old house is, and then the area for the playground is next to that, and there's just going to not be much tree removal, because that's the most cleared part of the whole property. So it will certainly be our desire to remove as few trees as possible, but none between where the playground is and the neighbors. There's not going to be any tree removal. For the trails to go in, we will go around trees. We won't remove any.
Does that entry drive stay open overnight, or there's a gate?
Yes, it will stay open, as do all of our other neighborhood parks.
Okay, I thought Windward had a gate. Maybe I'm thinking higher up. So, okay.
Well, Windward used to have a gate, but it doesn't have anymore.
Okay.
And so I will tell you that restroom will have automatic locks. The doors will lock automatically at the time that we set, which would be dark, and then they will open the following morning. And there will be motion sensor lights in the restroom, so if anybody's in there after hours and the police ride by, they will be able to tell that something's going on in that.
Okay.
That's just the way we're moving. We've done that at North Park, and we've done it at Union Hill, and we're going to install the same thing at Windward Park.
Where's the pedestrian crosses for the people coming from the other side of the street?
It would be at Waters and Kimball.
I think that there's an apartment building, isn't there, on Kimball, but it's further west of here?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that they would walk all the way up to Waters and Kimball, or is there a way for them to cross?
That's outside of my purview. That would be more of a Pete question, but I know that Pete doesn't like what he calls mid-block crossings, and particularly on a 4-lane highway. But I would certainly ask Pete.
But there's, like, from this drawing, there doesn't seem to be any pedestrian markings on the road at this point. Is that true, or are there pedestrian markings there?
I believe there is there.
I believe there is, Commissioner Rand, but I don't know for sure.
Just that we had that trouble at Windward, it's hard for the people on the other side of the street to get there, I was just trying to get it.
Well, I can certainly, again, I can raise that issue with the folks in Public Works, but their answer has always been mid-block crossings are dangerous.
That's fine, I just need to make sure that it's crossed.
But we will. I will tell you that we'll make sure that there are adequate crossings at least at the intersection when we build the park.
And excuse my ignorance, but I'm assuming the entryway is only going west, like you can't cross traffic into getting into the park.
You can. Or can you?
Looks like they have
Yes.
Is there a turn lane?
There's a small turn lane there. You can see the arrow. This is a grainy picture, but there's an arrow.
You can get to it both
But it looks
directions.
like it's beyond if you turn.
It's just a very crowded area right there.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's,
There's a lot of family homes there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did just widen that road, so.
You can
Center lane.
make a left out of there.
You can make a left out of there, so yeah, okay, there is a crossing. So there's a crossing there, okay.
Morgan, what is the walking trail made of? I can't quite make out the.
It'll be slate, what we call the slate, which is what we have at Windward Park.
Okay.
You know that, it's a soft surface trail. It has an edge so that it doesn't creep out of that, so it.
But you can push a stroller or something?
Oh, yeah, absolutely,
that's-
absolutely. It's ADA compliant. You can push anything because it's, you know, it becomes, it compacts enough where, yeah, you can roll a stroller or a wheelchair
Or
if
walker.
you're a walker on there, you know,
Speaking of that, is this
easily.
planned on being, you know what kind of slope we have there? Is this going to try to tabletop a little bit? To
Yes.
keep it as level as we can
Yes.
for the majority of the
We'll
park?
try.
But yes, we're going to have some contours we have to deal with, okay.
And we also are going to make sure that we're keeping in mind that, you know, the ADA
Right,
accessibility
that was my-
and all of that. Again, a lot of the trails will be, you know, this is the rendering, but a lot of that will be done at the field as far as the exact location of the, you know, whether we go around that tree or around both of those trees will be done kind of on site.
Okay.
Any other questions? We have people here. Does anybody want to comment on this? We're going to kind of do this as a public comment section. I know I'm switching you up, Amber, but I don't want to vote and then they speak afterwards. So if anybody wants to comment on this, you have plenty of time to do it. Are we good?
On the left, oh, sorry, go on, please, I'm so sorry.
Come,
Yeah.
You'll just state your name and where your residence is?
Yes, my name is Dottie Cooper, and I'm a resident of Waters Mill subdivision, so I live right off of Waters. And this park is very exciting for us. And we thank you so much for your efforts. I just noticed on the rendering here that there's trees on Kimball Bridge Road, and on the map, it's on the left up there. And there's so many there. I'm wondering why there's such a cluster of trees and whether or not that's some land that could be used for something else, or why we have so many. It seems like a big parcel includes trees.
Well, so this is an architectural rendering, so it's not there. I don't know if there's quite that many, but there's certainly the possibility that other things could be done there. But what we were trying to do was to be honest with you, is build a community park with as little impact as possible. And so our plan is for that just to stay there. Now, if the trees need to be thinned out because for the health of the trees or for safety reasons, we can look at that. But it is not our desire to do anything with that particular area. Just, that was our plan.
Morgan, when we first started talking about this, didn't we say that on the far left, that abuts the Korean churches?
Yes.
And that they were amenable to allowing overflow parking, or is that changed?
They are amenable to that, but the transition from our property to theirs would be quite expensive for that. So we are going to tell people they can park there, but we're going to get them to go around rather than we just realized we can't make that connection with the money we have now if we're going to be building the park, because we're literally using all of our money just to build this.
Okay.
So,
but in the future,
it certainly could be in the future, and we hope that, you know, not to say there won't be any goat pass from that parking lot to the park, but this is right now these are the priorities that we had to stick with.
Fair enough.
Any other questions? If not, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the latest rendering of the conceptual site plan for Kimball Bridge Waters Road based on the original design by Pollock Associates. Can I get a,
So moved.
Second?
Cheryl, so moved.
no, we're asking for a motion. I get a motion? Can I get a second?
you need a
Second.
second.
Second?
Who did we second?
So we have a motion and we have the second. Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All against? No one? Motion approves. Thank you. Any commissioner comments, concerns? Public comments we've already gone through. Can I ask for a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Get a second. Okay. Jit,
Jet.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody
Thank
against?
you for my binder.
Thank
I
you.
like this, I can keep all my notes in it from
Yeah, I did.
after meeting. This is wonderful.
There is a big part of plastic at the front.
Amber gives me these cheat sheets. I'm trying to follow them the best I can. She puts it in red, so I have these cheat sheets. I'm trying to follow it.
Yeah.
So I always thought, my mind is,
Yeah, well, she knows I need help, but it didn't seem like the right thing to do was take a vote and then